Like, I don't know how long I'll be on tonight as far as stream goes because I don't actually think I'm gonna get one of these guys.
I love it.
No, I know you. I know you really like this. Is this you? No. Okay.
I'm in the barn. I just cleaned his hose.
Okay.
I'm going to Valedale to go get mine.
I didn't even realize they were in Valedale. I'll be honest. Like, I had to look at the news this morning. I'm like, where's the new horses?
Honestly, it doesn't surprise me because they're forestry horses and they're in like a very different area.
What one is in Fort Pinto?
I don't know, but they're all here in Valedale. You can get them.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Yeah, I see all of them. I think maybe the regular bay one. I'm in a horse menu. Oh,
ooh!
Hey,
I did the silver thing,
and I love them. And
there's so many that I like.
The animation from like the muscle movement from the front and the hind end, like from the front rear view, are just like amazing.
No, they really look nice. I think what's getting me is that none of the colors really appeal to me right now. Like, like the Bay Roan, I love Bay Roans. This particular one for me is a little bit too light. That's my only. I'm like, oh, he's a little bit too light.
I think it's because they wanted to go after the shaggy look with the coat.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would have been darker had he been like a more clipped horse, I would think.
Right. I mean, the flax and chestnut one that just looks like it could be a Belgian, that one's really cute. The one that Lurie got, which is the God, I still can't really tell if that's supposed to be black, silver, or liver chestnut, because now that I look at it, it's definitely got like redder vibes than I would expect from a silver black.
It does, but silver black, just like the
they can have that sunburnt
forest horse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the black forest horse can have red in there.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how I'm seeing it.
It's so
if it was liver, the mantail would be more cream for me.
True. Yeah, it's so in between. And that's not a bad thing.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I saw someone post that they can't be silver black. Realistically. Which doesn't mean SO didn't make it that way, but
so like they can be silver, but someone posted that they can't be blue roan. Like they said
seems weird.
They said the Swedish Ardennes and the Ardennes are two different breeds. And I'm like, because they said the Swedish Ardennes does not accept black in its registry, but they can be roan. So I'm like, well, why can't they be blue roan and just the blacks not get registered? Like,
because blue roan is black based.
Exactly.
Like blue roan is just black roan. Like this makes no sense.
Oh, speaking of the blue roan, it has a perfect part on its snoot.
That is cute.
Very cute.
I know.
Yeah, so like if I had to pick one out of the ones that are released, I'd definitely go with like the black silver one. With knowing that
nice.
With knowing that the Self Francois is around the corner and the Saddlebred, those are two breeds that I'm like, okay, I know I'm not a huge draft person. So those two are more up my alley, but there could be colors that come out on this in the future that definitely like make me change my mind and go, I have to have one of these, because everything about it is phenomenal. Like I don't really have any notes. You know, it moves like a heavy horse would. Yeah. And I love the special animation. I love the butterfly. It makes me so happy. It makes my heart happy.
I love how the butterfly like pops out from behind them, because like when they sit down, it's like they stirred it up in the grass.
Yeah.
And then it goes. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I didn't realize it, but it's like when you ride it, there is a very nice circular motion to its like rear, to its hinds.
Yes.
That is just like, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're not forgetting about it. Because a lot of the other horses are just more kind of straight on, but I like it when they, and like it's a drafter, but I like it when they add weight to the hind legs. Like these are powerful, they're moving, because that's why I like the Welsh pony so much, because whoever animated the Welsh pony also paid attention to the for the haunches and everything. I don't know the proper terminology for horses.
No, you're good. Hindquarters, haunches.
Hindquarters, haunches.
One thing I like too with this breed is the canter. It's so like kind of awkward because they're favoring one side, but that's such a heavy horse thing. They're not like really incredibly graceful, you know?
Right. It's like the only really graceful heavy horse, like when I think of a graceful draft breed, is like the Percheron, and they nailed that too.
Yes, or a drum horse. That's
or the drum horse. Yeah. It'd be nice to see. It'd be nice to see a drum horse in SSO. That would be another draft breed that I'd be like totally
but then
on board to see.
But then people would whine because they'd go, "It looks like the Shire or a Vanner," and it's like, yeah, that's because the drum horse is.
It's a Shire cross Vanner.
Mind blown.
I got speaking. This guy. Oh, where are you? Oh, yeah, that one's cute.
Well, I need to come back and show you.
Druid Hall. Ooh.
Yeah, get it? Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. So this is mine. I need to tell you guys. I haven't gotten to scream at you guys about Baldur's Gate. I need to scream at somebody about Baldur's Gate.
You need to scream at us.
I'm trying not to. Well, I'm trying not to scream about it to any of my friends who have not played it but want to. Okay. Because like my friend Eli that I hang out with a lot. He really wants to play it, but he has Xbox, and he's like, I gotta wait a little bit until I can afford it. Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's gonna be like it's on Xbox or it's coming out. But he's like, I can't spend money on video games right now, so you have to shut your mouth. I'm like, okay. But I got to the point where you have the interaction. Like, I went forward without necessarily like knowing. Like I made Lee in the game, and so I'm like, okay, I'll just play this like as close to in character as I possibly can for her, and see what happens. So I'm like, I didn't go in with like any romance expectations. I didn't go in with any like quest line expectations. I'm just like, let's just see what happens. And I just got to the point where you infiltrate Moonrise Towers in Act 2, and you go talk to the person, the drow who takes your blood.
Yeah.
And I got that whole interaction with Asterion after at camp, and I was like, I am in pain. I did that at 5 a.m. this morning, and I'm like, I'm gonna cry.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Well, I didn't like realize. I'm like, okay, like I couldn't sleep last night, and so I woke up this morning. I'm like, all right, there's no point in me just laying here. Let me like play my game. So I get to that part, and I was like, why did I do this at 5 a.m.? I didn't know this was coming.
Like, are you trying to romance him?
I did end up in a romance with him, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like that feels in character. That feels in character for Lee. Like, they really, really do. But oh my god, the funniest thing to me was how quickly you gain approval with Gale just by doing like nothing.
Yep.
Well, like, so yeah, with Gale. Well, because with Gale, he doesn't necessarily take traditional flirting with him. It's more of connection through like understanding him.
Yeah, which I got the Wild Weave scene. Like, I got the Wild Weave scene, and I was like, that's really cute. Like, that's really sincere and nice and just good. Like, I really like that. But what I didn't realize in Act 1, I've never played a game that has so many, like it's so open-ended that it has an effect on the storyline. So I've never played anything like that. So in Act 1, I was so focused on the goblin stuff and the freeing the tieflings that was like the first thing I did. So I didn't hardly have reputation built up with anybody.
Yeah.
And so when I got to the party scene at the Grove,
yeah.
Oh
Did
my
you get
god,
no bitches?
I got no bitches. But it was
Aw,
hilarious.
man.
But it was hilarious to me. It was hilarious to me because Asterion, talks to you or whatever. And I guess I also learned that his reaction changes if you go talk to other people first. I did not know that.
Yep.
But I went to talk to him first because he had he had the little exclamation point. I'm like, okay, I'll go talk to you first. And his reaction was like, oh, honey, you? No, never. And I laughed my ass off. It was so funny. I'm like, but it felt like, to me, because of the character that I was playing as, I'm like, this is great. Because I can definitely, bitches. Because I can see it being a thing of Lee being like, okay, I don't like you as much as you don't like me. and then that just gradually changes, like, okay, asshole, I see how it is. And then just, the gradual change. So that was really fun to play through. And between the little dialogue, in fights, because if you get injured, I love the fact that if you get injured or you die, or your character dies, in next to another character, that character reacts. I love that. And it's different based on how your relationship is with them. So then the more, and it's not like I was actively seeking anyone's approval either, which that was the fun part for me. I'm like, all right, let's just see naturally what happens here. So
okay, where'd you guys go?
I'm going to collect fireflies. I'm just going to run around and get some fireflies. So seeing the change happening in real time with not just that relationship, but with all of them, is this is really cool. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's so
it's fun.
It's
I'm enjoying myself, and I'm glad that I did it on Explorer, because I'm definitely I'm not a turn-based combat girly. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just want the story part of it. So I'm really glad that I'm just kind of playing it on the lowest level, so I can just enjoy myself.
That's what I did at first too, because I was I'm like, this is a super replayable game,
right?
I just want to enjoy the story and know the story before I cry and scream over combat. Though the combat, I also hate. I thought it wasn't going to be for me when it first came out. I was like, well, it's my birthday. I'll treat myself to this. And I was like, oh, but I didn't like the first Dragon Age, how that played. And I was like, But then I actually got into the combat and getting used to moving around. And I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. This is kind of fun, though.
See, I've been playing, several days in a row, over the weekend and everything. And I swear, I kept getting stuck fighting that stupid queen spider.
Oh, the phase spider?
Yeah.
The
red and blue one.
Unfortunately, that was one of the first encounters, because I stumbled into that accidentally at a low level.
No.
And it was... Oh, no. It sucked. It sucked, but I did it.
One thing that I learned from that is that it's best not to have your party in group mode.
Yes.
Because you can have one person draw the attention of the enemy and then sneak up with the rest of them.
I had to look up a couple tutorials on fights or quests to make sure that I wasn't missing anything, because that's what I was paranoid about, is I don't want to miss anything, and I don't want to miss one thing that then screws up my entire game.
Yep.
That's the part that made me a little concerned. It's oh god, if I mess this up, my whole game has gone to shit. So,
Save scum is your best friend.
Oh yeah, I've been doing that. I actually got to the point I didn't. This is probably really dumb. Is I didn't necessarily realize that you could I didn't know what the quick save hotkey was. So I was going in and doing save game, and I was making a whole bunch of new game files, like over and over again, new game files, which like there's nothing wrong with. But then I got to like, oh my god, I've got like 50 new save files. Probably not a good idea. So
it's not too bad. The game. I always told, like, in the beginning, because all of August when I was unemployed, because I'm back at work now. Yippee!
Yay, Larry!
I'm at work. Woo. Anyways, the worst game to come out when you're unemployed. Just saying.
Because it's all your time.
The entirety of August was just me playing Baldur's Gate. It was sad, but it was so funny because I was just like, save scum. I save every 5 steps I take in the game, even when I've played through it. I've only ever played through it once. But then I also save scum before I talk or I save scum
before dialogue.
You can save during dialogue.
I do that too.
But so that's me. I'm just like, everyone's like, oh my gosh, I have to use one of my inspirations, and I'm like no,
just reload.
I just reload the game to get that natural flow.
Surprisingly, like I know you said like, oh, use your inspiration. I have not had a single problem getting like a bunch of inspiration. Because like for whatever reason, the stuff that I'm doing, whether I know it or not, just lines up with things like that. And my characters are like, yeah, I'm really inspired. And I'm like, okay, why?
You're like looking around like, what did I do?
Yeah, like, what did I do?
If it aligns with their like moral code or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Or their background and etc.
No, because right now my party is Lee, Asterion, Lae'zel, and Shadowheart. I've had Shadowheart since the beginning because the whole the whole Shar thing fascinates me, and I know it's not going to end well, but I want to know.
Shadowheart pisses me off, like because
that's fair.
You get her in your party, and she has this attitude like you want to know something about her, and you're just like, bitch, I don't even care who you are. Like you're just some random person.
Yeah.
So Emma, did you not find Karlach?
No, I have Karlach.
Okay, thank God. I'm like, okay, thank God, because my main party was Shadowheart, Astarion, and Karlach.
Okay.
I was just like, these are my babies.
I had Gale for a while, and then there was one fight that I was in that every single spell he missed the whole fight, and I'm like, you are the most useless thing. So I've left him at camp ever since. But as far as like who I have in my camp, I have Halsin, Gale, Will, Karlach, Lae'zel, Shadowheart, Asterion. Is there any? I know, like, obviously I can't get Mintara because, like, I killed her. Well, okay. So that is right. She's the drow that like was gonna hunt down the tieflings, correct? That's who that is.
Yeah, okay. She's the quote-unquote evil one.
Yeah, so remember how I said I was a really low level when I did that? Well, I figured out an easy, like, the easiest thing that I figured out how to take care of her is you go to tell her that you're gonna, like, help her and you're gonna, like, kill everybody, and then you wait until she's walking away, and then you, like, cut the ropes on the bridge, and she just falls.
Is she dead? She's dead.
And then you just pick up the lyre off the side of the, chasm.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
The last run, or I stopped. I haven't played since September because I'm like, I played too much in August, and I'm like, I need to like a several month hiatus from this. But I'm doing my evil run, so I sided with her. But here I am crying, screaming. Right. I'm like, no. But she's actually very sweet. She's like very devoted. you
like,
as the player.
Right,
Like,
I was
I'm
gonna say,
romancing her.
I've like
Super
seen
devoted.
I've like seen some. I was very curious yesterday, or like yesterday morning, and I went and I did a bunch of like looking around at different audio clips from the game because I'm like, oh, there's still some stuff that like I either missed or like because I'm not like romancing a character or I don't have a high relationship with this character that like I'm probably gonna miss some of these things. So I went and like looked up all the different voice lines for like the greetings and like the fights, you know, and I'm like, oh, some of these are like really like very, very sincere and sweet, and some of these just make me cackle, you know, like. But I'm definitely having a blast playing, and I'm not getting mad at it like I thought that I was necessarily going to. It just kind of it's becoming a little bit of a comfort game in that it just feels like I'm watching a TV show with like minimal effort, you know. And I know I haven't been like writing or anything lately. I've been so busy, and like obviously this game is taking up the time that I would spend writing, but I'm also sitting there like observing.
It makes you happy.
I'm soaking it in.
Can I make a unpopular? It used to be a popular opinion. Now it's an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
So back when the game first came out, Gale was glitched. And actually, I don't know if you know that. I think you got it when it first came out, right? So you probably know this.
Yeah.
Where
I watched somebody play it through, and when he was glitched, and it was like
it's the worst. And unfortunately, this glitch is the reason why I don't like Gale, even though he is fixed. Basically, you know how he gets high approval real quick, and it's because he likes connection. He's a he's a kind of a hopeless romantic, but also he's not like obnoxious really about it. But this glitch, no matter what you did, any little tiny interaction you did with him, even if it would not actually raise his approval or romance meter, he would think that you guys are dating or you're really into each other. He's just like, oh my god, you basically your character would be like, I like dogs, and he's like, oh my god, you like dogs? I like dogs too.
We should get married.
Then I'm flirting. And then I'm flirting with Astarion, and then we bang the night of the party, and then the next day, Gale's like, why would you do that to me? And I'm like, do what to you?
Like, we mean nothing.
And it's like, the thing is, literally, no one thought he was glitched because pretty much every person in their life has run into a dude that you just say, I like dogs. I also like dogs. Oh my god, we have so much in common, and we're practically dating. Like, that is, and literally that happened to me a few years ago, so I was just like, oh my god, they literally wrote a fuckboy.
So true.
They literally wrote a fuckboy into this.
Honestly, that's hilarious.
I feel so bad for him though, because like you said, just like how you feel, a lot of people feel that way because of the glitch, that he doesn't get a lot of love, which is sad because, and honestly, I don't see Will getting a lot of love either.
I love Will. I love Will.
Will's very sweet.
Will. I was kind of kicking back, and I was like, all right, I have a feeling that just based on the choices I'm making, because I had Will in my party for a while too. But I was like, okay, just based on the choices that I'm making, I have a feeling that like Lee is either going to end up with Astarion or Will. I'm like, that is how this is going. And right as I got the scene, like at the same like long rest that I got the scene where you basically like enter a relationship with Astarion, I wanted to have my character talk to Will. And it felt like you could trigger the romance there too. And I was like, oh no, sorry, buddy.
Just a heads up. Astarion is okay with you having an open relationship.
Yeah.
Will is.
I did see that. Like, I kind of did a little bit of like a little bit of homework, because I was like, I don't want to accidentally do something that's going to piss off a character too, you know? And so I was like, okay, like, let me see what dialogue choices necessarily like lead to romantic things so that I don't do them. you know?
Yeah.
Well, because like the only characters that are okay with an open relationship, and
I know Halcyon is.
Halcyon is, yes, Halcyon, Shadowheart, and Asterion.
Okay.
The rest of them are pretty like,
yeah,
you know, you're like,
yeah,
or they expect you to be committed.
It seemed
Even
to me
Lae'zel,
though,
which is interesting.
It seemed to me though that with Asterion, that unless it was you getting into a relationship with Halcyon, that it kind of seemed like he was like begrudgingly okay. Like kind of like an as long as it makes you happy kind of a thing. And I was like, oh no.
Like, he is okay with it. Because if you ask him to be in an open relationship with anyone else, he's like, hell no. And that's like, because it's like, you already know, like, one of the major characters, he's squid looking. I write him, I roleplay him. So I'm very aware of many of the don't
Lurie
touch the fandom.
Leaning. Lurie is squid leaning.
Okay. I'm very squid. That's my husband.
Don't touch the fandom, but also the Facebook meme group is hilarious.
It's funny, yeah. And it's like, and if you're a fan of the squid, there's so many haters.
You know what? They can all get over it because they were all liking the man that turns into a bear, all right?
And then Asterion and the Emperor are have basically the same kind of morality. They just have different personalities. So I don't want to hear it.
Exactly.
But like, anyways, don't touch the fandom. But you're if you ever try to like, my other friend Apollo, he's never touched the game. His computer's unable to handle it. So
rip.
he is experiencing the game
living
through
vicariously through you.
Not through me. He got tenfold into Astarion, and I'm just like that is like the worst, in my opinion, the worst part of the fandom.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many different ways, like you'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
But like he is okay with the polyamory. Because in the same act, in the final act, he also learns about he has a say over his body. He has a say over everything.
Yeah.
So if he wasn't like, if he's not okay being in polyamorous relationships with the other characters, and he says no, but he will say yes to Halcyon, it's like, yes, he is okay with it. Like, I promise.
Also, don't worry, Danny, I see you in the chat. You didn't really come into a weird part of the conversation. You may have come into a weird part of the conversation. We're talking about Baldur's Gate. So
yes.
If it's a game that you're not familiar with, we're very sorry. Me and I finally got to playing it, and I feel like Ashley and Larry are just waiting for me to scream at them about certain things. I have so many memes that I want to send you guys.
Almost to Act 3.
I know. I saw the
time.
So I was really gunning. I was really gunning to do the whole get the relic, get Ketheric Thorm's relic. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I got to a point where it was like, hey, if you do this, you can't do any more stuff in Act 2. And I was like, wait a second, I didn't think that's where this was going. So I backed off of that real quick. And I'm off doing other stuff now. I have not gotten to the point where you actually meet him. I walked into that cutscene at 5 a.m. this morning, and I quick loaded myself out of there because I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, so you accidentally went into Act 3?
No, I accidentally went into the one cutscene in Moonrise Towers where you walk into the court, and he's berating the goblins. I accidentally walked into that, and I went, I'm not doing I'm not getting into another major story mission. It's 5 a.m. And I loaded myself out of there. I'm like, I'm packing up. So Danny,
and that's an excellent scene, by the way. I'm excited for you.
Danny said, "Oh, okay. All I gathered from Baldur's Gate 3 is a fancy vampire who's a flirter, and I saw the cursed squid on squid scene."
He's not cursed.
He's not
cry because like that's kind of correct. I feel like
it's not. He's not cursed.
He's not. He's actually the best character in the game. Like, I mean, let's be honest. Intellectually, he's the best freaking character. All right.
Oh God, no, I
like
love that for you guys. I think that's so great. Also, while I have a moment, because I know there's a couple more people on chat, but go ahead, Ashley.
Like, you would think more people would be all for Squid Guy because technically he's genderless.
True. True.
But we can't give spoilers on why he uses he/him though. Like he'll do it, they, he.
No, like, I'm not going to give spoilers. But I'm just saying, technically, he's genderless.
A lot of the reason why the fandom hates him is because he's a mind flayer, and historically, 20 plus years of D&D lore tells you
that mind flayer
is evil.
Yeah.
And but the game hits you with like, actually, that's not true.
Exactly, because he's the one that's like able to, do this thing that the others have never been able to do. Other players, I mean.
So, Danny, I want to be very, very clear with it's not all that. It's not only that. I swear. I totally swear it's not. It's a very, very, like, as somebody who does not play that kind of game, like a turn-based combat game, and somebody who like is familiar with D&D but has never actually played D&D outside of a classroom setting, but that's a long story. That wasn't even real D&D necessarily. We didn't have classes. We didn't roll for, so like as someone who's kind of very new to like this type of game and the franchise and D&D as a whole, it's a really, really compelling story. I think it has some fun gameplay. It's almost open-ended to a point that it makes me like not anxious, but it makes me feel like, oh God, I'm gonna like I think sometimes I need a little bit more structure than that, because it was like I was given that quest to do the goblin leaders thing, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and like, I kind of probably should have gone around exploring first, because I didn't even find Lae'zel until you run into the Githyanki. Like I didn't free her from the cage or anything. I ran into her later, and I thought, oh God, it's too late to recruit her. Well, it wasn't. But no, it's like there's so much to the game, and there's so many layers, and I know a lot of people are focusing on the romance aspect because a lot of people like the role play, like it's fun for them, whatever. The dating sim. You can bypass that entirely. They give you ample options to do none of that. Like the romance scene with Asterion that I played through this morning, there's an option at every step that's like, I really like you, I think we should be friends, and like then you kind of go from there, and it's like, or you can tell these characters to just like go F off, like you don't, the options are endless. Like the Larian Studios thought of everything, and it's just, it's a very impressive game to me in that regard. And like the little things that you do or don't do that can have an effect on your gameplay later on, like from what I'm discovering, like, okay, yeah, I missed this thing in Act 1. I'm like, all right, now in Act 2, either like, okay, this character's not there, or this character's in a different place, or yada yada yada. But yes, the voice acting is great. The animations have been great. For someone that doesn't play turn-based combat games, it really didn't take me that long to catch on. And also, you can play it at several different difficulties. So if you're just like me and you want something casual that you're just kind of like, oh yeah, I care more about the story than anything else, you can do that too. So I'm really glad that I'm getting into playing it. I'm having a good time, and I would definitely recommend it. Like, even if you don't think you'd be into that kind of game, if you like fantasy in any way and you like compelling characters and a compelling story, I think it's a good decision to play it.
Yeah, It's a really massive game. Like,
it is.
147 hours alone is cutscenes.
Yeah.
All right, that's not even including gameplay.
Yeah, no, it's the first 20 minutes is a cutscene. And that was impressive to me because I was like, I'm watching a movie. Like, I'm sitting down watching a movie.
Exactly.
That's not what I thought was going to happen. But I like it. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm going to find this glyph, and then I have something on my desk that I want to show you guys briefly. I know I've been sharing it occasionally in our group chat, but I don't think I've, other than like a quick teaser, and I know it's dark in here, but you can still see him, is I am almost done with this custom Adonis.
Yes.
And this is one that I'm keeping. So sorry for anybody in the chat that desperately wants this. It is mine. He's mine.
Good.
I don't do things for myself a lot. And I love the for anybody familiar with like Briarfest horses. The 2019 the Heroes Welcome Surprise that Summer Prosser did on the Moody and Illusion in like the Chestnut Tovero. That's a model that I have a lot of strong feelings about because I love the color. I love that color on a Spanish mold, but I'm not a big Moody and Illusion person. But I love Adonis. So I'm like, I want it on Adonis. I didn't go as heavy with the pearl because I didn't think that, I'm like, maybe for a custom, maybe I just need it in the mane and tail. Like maybe it wouldn't be enough contrast. I think it also would have flattened out. I have this lovely chestnut color, and I was so afraid to put pearl on top of it and ruin it. Like,
yeah,
it was very scary. So right now he's just waiting for, he got his final coat spray today, and I did his base today, and he's going to get his gloss later this week, which I'm excited about because then he'll finally be done. And I'm excited. And another thing I just finished that is not up yet, does not have photos yet. It's really, really hard to see him. This is a little, I can't remember who actually sculpted it.
Maybe thing. I have the unpainted one on my desk.
I think it's Kathleen Moody. I think I do think it is a Moody.
The people with all the tiny little guys.
Yeah, so this is a little micro, and it's I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's a Mustang attacking a rattlesnake. And I painted it like Spirit. So that's gotta get photos taken, and then I'll be up online. And I don't have her here right now, but you guys need to go look at Sugar Mama. Everybody
is that what you're naming her?
The gingerbread thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Her name is Sugar Mama, yeah.
I love that.
Well, and the story behind that is like, okay, so I named my Lakuan in Star Stable. I named mine Sugar Father. That was what I wanted to name mine from the beginning, because I wanted a horse named Sugar Daddy. And I'm like, that's perfect. Well, my mom bought that horse too. And I told her, I'm like, she's like, oh, I don't know what to name it. And I'm like, well, if you name yours Sugar Mother, I will name mine Sugar Father, knowing full well that I was going to do it anyway. I'm like, it's a pact. We'll do it. So hers is a mare named Sugar Mother. And when I was prepping the model to use that particular Totilas, the only Totilas body that I have any access to is Adia HP, which is a mare. And so I'm like, well, it can't be Sugar Daddy. It's gotta be Sugar Mama. So yeah, she is, I suppose I could bring up, because we have quite a few people on chat this evening. I don't know what day it is. I'll bring up my photos and I'll switch my screen instead of game capture. We'll go to display capture and I'll show you guys. So this is Sugar Mama. and she's a Briar Totilas, traditional sized Briar. Everybody that's in the voice chat right now has been watching me work on this thing for at least 3 weeks, if not a whole month. It has been the most intimidating project I think I've ever done. And I am very happy with how it turned out. With like lots of encouragement from you guys.
Yeah.
like damn. It's been fun to watch this come along, especially like I was so nervous to do that pinstriping aspect. Just the icing that goes along the whole outline of the body. That was really, really that was really nerve-wracking for me. Just trying to figure out how to do it and not like have to do it over and over and over, or like screw my lines up or anything like that. So, your technique about like keeping the same amount of paint on the brush at all times was exceptionally helpful.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So between that and what I actually did is I got one coat of all the white on it. And then I was like, all right, I'm not going to go in for a second coat because I don't trust myself to go on the same line twice necessarily. So I did one coat and then I sealed it really, really good. And then I waited a while and then I went back and did it again because I'm like, I'm not adding any second coat that I can't take off. Because when I was working on this thing, I was sitting here at my desk with my like really, really thin brush and a wet paper towel. And I think I did this thing's face like 3 or 4 times before I was actually happy with it. So like I'd paint stuff on, my line would go crazy, I'd wash it off. I'd wait for it to dry, I'd paint it back on. Oh, it doesn't look right. Wash it back off. But it definitely paid off. She has pearl in her mane and tail, and then her mane and tail are also totally glossed, which is very hard to see in the photos. But when you get it, like when you see it in person, it really makes you want to like put your tongue to it. It's very like wet frosting-y look. And I'm like, I can't lick it. I can lick an OF, but I don't think I feel confident licking a custom, especially one that has been recently finished. I don't
hand it over.
Yeah, we gotta wait for it to not be so fresh.
I'll do it.
I was telling my mom at dinner about your comment about that you wanted to lick it, and that Ellen said that she would want video proof if one of us licked it. And I'm like, I'm going to start doing that with custom horses. I'm going to start, when they're done, I'm going to ship them to Minnesota. Oh, there's my Fireheart too. This one's for sale too. This one's for sale too. But no, I'm gonna ship every custom to Minnesota for you to lick, and then you're gonna ship it back to me, and then they go up for sale.
It's a seal of approval. That's what I'm doing. It's like a stamp.
Yeah, exactly.
Stamp.
Right. So yeah. Sugar Mama is up for offers through this Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Current offer is $500. So I will be updating that throughout the week as I get offers in. But yeah, she turned out really nice. I will have her here for next Wednesday. I promise. I left her at the office because I took her photos and I was like, well, I don't know if I have a spot to put her here right now, so I will leave her in my safe cabinet. So she is safely at work. Another thing that I've been doing with customs lately that have a base, that like especially I've done this with the Adonises I've painted. Anything that has a disc base, you can see it hers in the photos, is instead of keeping the plastic stands clear like they come, like ideally for a Totilas, a Huck, a Salinero, you would actually go and get one of those metal stands. I can't remember who sells them. I have one from we grabbed them at Briarfest last year. It was the best purchase I ever made. It's one of the booths that's right near the Briar store that has the big, like, glass cabinets. I can't remember who that is. Yeah, but
I know which one.
But they have a whole bunch of, like, metal stands. But just for the sake of, like, having something that's a little bit classier looking, is I go out and I have this beautiful black stainless steel spray paint. And it's just subtle enough that, like, I'm actually going to go back, and I have all these bases for my OF Vallegros. And I actually think I'm going to spray those too, because after a while, those bases get really, really scuffed up. And I've never had a problem with the black stainless steel spray paint doing that. But the bare plastic does seem to be a little bit of an issue. And I can't stand the clear ones that Adonis comes with. I know why they did it. I'm sure it's a performance-friendly thing, but oh my god, it bothers me. Yeah. It's like, it shouldn't be clear.
It looks so cheap. Why don't they just use the Vallegra ones?
I know, like, you have the black ones. Just use those instead. like, please. Did we wanna really quickly, while we've got, like, a good group of people on here, did we want to talk really quickly about the Briarfest special runs?
Sure.
All right, I will switch back to game capture for a hot second, so that I can actually go and pull up the Briarfest special runs. Oh wow, opera! Holy, there's got to be a way.
So were all the special runs dropped, or just a few?
Not all of them. So far, we have. What do we have? We have the celebration horse. We have the general admission stablemates, and then we have there's 3
2 store specials.
Yeah, 2 store specials and 3 SRs. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Which there's gonna be 5 store specials, and then probably 7, 8. Wait, no, 9 special runs. Yes. I think they're doing 9.
Yeah, usually it's 8 or 9 now. But yes, Maria, we got the mule right. We got Alan correct. I'm stunned. I've never been right on a portrait model before. Like, I've never been right on on one of the store specials before, so that's cool. But yes,
we're getting better.
We're getting better. We're off on everything else this year, but we're getting better.
It's fine.
It's okay. So celebration horses, Athenian lady, this really, really nice Dundee. And I guess I can drop these into the voice chat as I'm talking about it. So this is our special run, or our celebration horse. I don't think I'll be keeping one. But it'll be nice to have some Dundee bodies. But she's cute. She's cute. Real horse is really cute too.
So that's the horse that you get if you just if you get the special package. Is that
this is the horse that if you get the all access one. Which used to be what was called the 3-day. But now they don't do. Name. Well, now I like that they're kind of doing general admission in that you don't just attend for a day anymore. Like, I'm
absolutely.
Glad, yeah, but the name change it's a little to get used to. So this is the all access one, but the stablemates are the general admission, which would be like your cheaper ticket. And I think these are like the $35-$40 tickets or whatever, and I'll toss those in the group chat too.
I'm sorry,
I'm not a fan.
They're not cute.
I'm not a fan. They're not for me.
No.
The only one I think I could kind of stand is Cassidy, and that's pushing it.
Yep.
Which for anybody that doesn't know, that's the blue one.
Yeah, blue looks fine. The other colors look a little odd, but it's like you said before, it's just the filigree pattern on stablemates looks terrible.
It really does, and it's not like I gotta put a screen dimmer on my I'm sorry, guys. All right, that's okay. I know it's going to look a little gray to everybody on stream, but I'm being blinded. So, yeah, filigree on stablemates is iffy because a lot of the splotches end up being too big. That's just, I mean, that's my personal opinion. Like they feel out of scale, which is weird because filigree shouldn't have a scale. Like, but I don't know. There's something about it that I don't think that it works. I don't think that it works as well as like it could have. But then I also know that, okay, whoever does Breyer's photo editing, they seem to have a bit of a problem color correcting.
Yeah.
Like it almost makes me want to like, I might take one of these into like Photopia later and like mess with it, because then this photo down here with all four of them, like the colors look so much better. So if I end up getting I'm in the camp of right now, it does not look like I'm going to get a VIP ticket. But if I do end up getting a VIP ticket, then okay, I guess we get a set of the stablemates to sell. But if I end up getting just a regular all access, I'm not going to go out of my way to buy these. Like, because I don't want any of them. So it would be just something that we would have in the store to resell. First special run model was Can't Hold Me Down, which is actually cute.
I gotta say, I hate the way that they're naming things this year.
I don't like the names. They're so long.
Way too long.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts, and I can't remember the names.
Nope.
Yeah.
But I have a soft spot for the Indian pony.
I really like this one though.
Yeah, this one's cute. I don't think it's one that's gonna be coming home with me, but it's really cute.
So one thing that really bugged me with one of the first special runs they released was their caption, because they're like, oh, you know, all of our women and girl collectors, and they put in parentheses and boys too.
Yeah.
And then called it a song what was it?
Was it Miss Independent? Was it this next one?
Yes. And I'm like, really? Why couldn't you just pick and include, like, if you're going to act like...
It's weird this year. Like, I don't know what's going on.
It's like, y'all are the reason why Horse Boys don't come out.
Exactly. Right. On to the next special run, Miss Independent. I feel like they've done, like, this is like the third warm dilute color that they've done on Catch Me. I really wish that it didn't look so much like Highlander. Like, I know, like, there's definitely a big visual difference in that he's a lot paler, you know, the redder mane and tail. He doesn't have the dun striping, but it's like, you've done like 3 yellows on Catch Me at this point. It's really, this is not to say that this isn't pretty, because it is pretty. This is not me bitching about it.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
I really like how they did the color, and I like that they added enough markings on it and stuff. Yeah. But it seems so, like, the body is so plain for a $65 horse. That's why I'm just like,
like, it's soft, it's subtle, and it's classy. But it also, like, I don't know.
It feels like not enough compared to the Brindle Tobiano right above it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. But it's fine. Like, you know, just another one that I'm not going to come home with. Okay, and then today's was Sorry Not Sorry, which is a glossy chestnut leopard appy Salinero, and I want to like this. I want to like it. I want to like it really bad. There's not enough spots on the face for me. It makes the mold feel like it's naked.
The way they did the little tiny speckles makes it look like it has a rash.
Oh, Courtney, no.
I mean, leopard apps do get that small flecking, but one thing
I know.
I like this one. Like, I have a weakness for I get that. But so I have a weakness for chestnut leopard apps. Like I felt that way with rotating drafts.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But so I love him for that. My only qualm about him is he resembles Rubicon. The connoisseur.
Yeah.
Salinero.
Yeah.
He does like
they look like they could be like
No, he's
but I mean it's a cool idea, but I mean he's cute.
I like his show side better than his off side. Like the second picture here, the picture that I'm actually going to put in the group chat. I feel like this is a much better angle. Like I don't really know if I like the little flecking on his muzzle. Like like I know it's supposed to be modeling, but there's so little of it that it looks really weird. The spray, the like airbrush spray on him, I feel like that worked on Rialto, but it doesn't do anything for me on this. I feel like it detracts from it. That's why I was
like, it looks like a rash.
Like it detracts from it to me. Right. Because I think without it, if they had gone darker, I think it would have been okay. Yeah.
Because what's happening is it looks like it's part of the tail color versus the body color.
Yeah, it just looks really funky, and I'm like, maybe like
it's
to me
weird spot on the show side too.
To me, if they would have just gone without it, I actually think I would have liked him. But for some reason, like it's just bugging me a little bit because his feet are wonderfully painted. Like there's nice shading in the tail. I like that,
if you cut off his legs, the legs look real good.
If you cut off his legs. Yeah.
Like one thing, like so with us seeing like very little modeling on this one in the initial picture,
there's gotta be variation. Yeah.
So like I'm not too worried about that. One thing I am very happy with, he has tricolored eyes. They're not flat black.
Oh yeah. Yes. Miss Independent has brown eyes too, and then the Can't Hold Us Down, that one has brown eyes. The Celebration model actually has brown eyes. So I think they're getting better about giving us horses with the bicolor eyes. Except the store specials, because Mr. always chipper here. The $70 store special pony has black eyes.
So does Alan.
Aw, damn.
The $75 mule, by the way. He's 75. Ouch. For a not on a vintage mold, that's a lot.
Yeah. So always chipper though. Like as much as I don't like Newsworthy, the pattern is adorable on Newsworthy. Like I totally understand why they picked that mold. I would have liked to see that on Nicholas. I actually have a Nicholas body that I might like do a black Tobiano on because this makes me want to see one on Nicholas. But I totally understand why for a jumping pony, they would pick a jumping pony mold. So that's just me being picky. Alan.
I just realized he's not flat black either. He's actually shaded.
Yeah, he's got that nice like gray black shading that they've been doing recently. I like it a lot.
Please gloss
that would be nice in gloss. Yes. Alan would be really nice in gloss. Alan would be great in gloss.
I'm still waiting on that nice stone mule that I like.
Soon, Courtney. Soon.
I know.
Soon.
I know.
Soon.
Please, Emma.
The model, like, okay, the model horse hobby gods have smiled upon us this week. I think I've said it multiple times, is the hobby ecosystem is healing.
Yeah.
The rivers are returning.
Yeah, the hobbyists are returning to stone horses. Which also congratulations on the fact that you guys sold 200 horses in about an hour.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm
like,
so happy.
Holy crap.
Well, think about it. Okay, so like think about it statistically based on like the classic lit when I was there is we were selling out of 30 horses in 2 minutes. So
that's true.
So okay, but think about this. So it's 30 horses every 2 minutes. So it'd be 30 times 30 because it'd be 60 minutes divided by 2. So if you sold 30 horses every 2 minutes, you'd be selling 900 horses in an hour. So
goddamn.
I know. So like that's the thing, is like, hopefully what this, not that I want you guys to paint 900 horses.
Yeah.
We don't want you to die.
If we could produce that, like, it'd be great. One thing that's nice about this run of 200 is there's 4 of us painting.
Yes, I saw that.
So each of us are only painting like 45 horses.
That's good. So that's good. No, one of the things that I desperately like when I heard the news, I was like, oh please don't let a single one of them paint more than 50 horses at a time. Please. Because all I can think about is when you guys were working on, or like when Ellen had to do the Ruby things and she did all 150 of them. And my heart hurts.
Yep.
So I'm really like, I can already see the path forward. And I'm very happy about this. It makes me really happy to feel like I can support the company again, because like, it's not like I didn't, obviously for my own reasons, it's like I'm cheering you guys on from like way in the back 40 with sunglasses and a fake mustache on, right? But no, it makes me really happy to see a lot of people that said that, oh, I would never buy from this company. I would never support this company. I feel uncomfortable supporting this company, buying and being vocal and being supportive, and, and lifting up a USA made hobbyist, now hobbyist owned, hobbyist run, hobby focused company.
Yep.
Because above all, and I always tell people this, is like, above all else, Breyer is a toy company. Breyer is a toy company. They are a toy company that makes collectibles on the side for adults. But above anything else, they're a toy company. But what has always made me happy about Stone Horses, and this is not pitting one against the other, because I definitely see the two as being like, especially now knowing who's in charge and what their goals seem to be, is there's going to be a very clear separation going forward of Breyer, like the toy company that occasionally makes collectibles, and this other company that is focused on, we are purely making things that are hobby collectibles that are directly aimed at people who show model horses and those who want to support small business, small artists. Like there's an even bigger divide there than I think there ever used to be, because like it felt, and this is no slight on Peter at all, but when he left Breyer and formed his own company, it felt like every business decision was kind of made out of spite, which is not, which like, that's not how you want to run a business. But that seemed to fade, like the closer to now that you get, like I'd say the past 10 years, that probably was not the case. But when they started, it was kind of like everything seemed to be, we got to keep up with Breyer. Breyer's doing this. We got to do this. We got to do this better. We got to, that kind of a thing. And that's, on the one hand, like maybe that was a good motivating force. But on the other hand, it's like, I don't see a reason why these two companies can't coexist, because they're making two entirely separate products now.
They are, yeah.
So yeah, it just makes me really happy to see what's going on there. And I definitely feel better about the whole situation. So
I'm so excited.
I know Courtney's very excited. We're all very excited. We're very happy.
Yeah.
But
I'm I feel inspired to paint more. Like,
good.
Honestly,
good. That's really good to hear. Honestly, it's very good to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end stream here. We'll be back next Wednesday.
Bye stream.
Bye stream.
Bye stream.